It is very cold here this morning, so of course you know what I'm doing. I'm making me some broth, and I am so glad that I did not screw up because I almost put a head of red cabbage in this and it would have turned it purple, and I wasn't thinking because I just woke up. But I have all the stuff that I have left over from Thanksgiving, the vegetables I didn't use, and I have these nice leeks here and some sweet onions and parsley and ginger, and I know I have more garlic than this, but I don't know where it is. I'm gonna find it though later because I'm actually gonna make some soup with this broth later, but right now I'm just making the broth. And maybe it'll warm it up in this house a little bit because it's like 40 degrees in here. Just a note here, I don't normally peel my ginger. I wash it very well. And if there's any bad spots, I'll take them off. But I think the peeling is very appealing. No, I'm just kidding. You can tell I'm half asleep still. I'm making stupid jokes. Bunch of stuff for my garden. Well, not these ties, obviously, but I still gotta cut this garlic up and my onions. And I have a whole bag of that Stonebreaker stuff to drop in there. And I'll put some dandelion and stinging nettle tea in there too. And the last thing to go in for now, some garlic, until I put the tea in later. The dandelion and stinging nettle tea bags in there to let them steep into that broth. That stuff is so good. It gives you such a good flavor. Stinging nettle and dandelion both add like a vegetable broth taste, and it's going to be very herb and onion tasting. With I put parsley, carrot, leeks, garlic, of course, that Stonebreaker. It's gonna really taste like herbs more than anything. But once I add that dandelion and stinging nettle tea in there, it'll even it out, and I'm gonna make some soup out of it later. I wanted to say I have planted in the last like 2 months about $40 worth of seed out in my garden, and I had a lot of stuff come up, but I've been having a problem. My dogs have made it their mission in life to get in there and dig holes, and first they were jumping up on these big pots and launching themselves over the fence to get in there, and I don't really understand why they're doing it. But anyways, I hate when I say I hate when other people do that. I just did it again. But so I moved the big pots away from the side of the fence, and then they started pulling out the bottom of the gate to get in there. And so I've literally got all kinds of plants coming up everywhere with no organization at all, because when they dug the holes, they threw seeds everywhere. So like I have all different kinds of plants coming up all over the place, and some of them I don't know what they are yet because they're not big enough, and it's so confusing right now. And it makes my head tired because I really like to be organized out there, and eventually once they get big and I realize what all of it is, I'll move it so they're grouped, together. But I have to get another hook today. I have to get another hook to put at the bottom of my gate so they can't get in there anymore. Who knows what's next? They may start tunneling underneath of the fence. Maybe they'll grow wings. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing that. Somebody said maybe it's because, the smell of the compost and the natural fertilizers I use, with all the vegetables and bones and everything I put in there, and they're looking for that stuff. And I guess that could be a good point. I put fish bones and things in there, so yeah, that could be a good point. And all of this is going to go back in my garden. And this is just going to sit and cook for a couple hours. I'm going to turn the fire down and put a lid on it so it doesn't evaporate away. And it should be pretty satisfying. especially later on. It'll be nice to have some.